everything else. But we have a platform that was recently introduced to me by our one and only Carnisha. And so thank you so very much. And I saw it and I was like, okay, we've got some agents that definitely need this. Who likes new construction?
I do.
Love it, right? We love it, and it is fighting all of our listings, so we might as well be the ones selling it, right?
That's right.
So we have Brandon
Brunner. You got it.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to say something else, but anyway, we have Brandon Brunner from New Home Buddy. This is who's used New Home Source before. Yep, you're not going to use it after this, I promise. Okay, this yes, it is. It's not my favorite platform at all. So this is a new platform that we've got out here that is going to take over the market, yes?
Yes, ma'am. It's
yes,
already
it
working.
is.
Yes,
okay.
Making progress.
And we are some of the first agents to see it. So I'm going to get away from here and I'm going to let you take over the show.
All right.
And again, if we can leave some questions to the end, unless it's something that is really imperative, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie.
Hi.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm very excited to be here. And yes, I do want to give more credit to Carrie and Carnisha for the opportunity to present to y'all today. Excited for what we've built here. And excited to share it with you. So I hope you have shared the same excitement as I do once I get done with my presentation. Unfortunately, fighting against Mike a little bit, I do want you guys to, as we get through the presentation, I don't want to just talk at you, I want to talk with you. So the second half of this will be the live demonstration component of New Home Buddy. So if you have your laptop, I do want you to join with me on that. But if you give me 15 minutes, we'll run through these slides real quick. The QR code here is if you do want to register for 1 hour of free CE credits. So take the time to sign up for that real quick right now. I would recommend it. It's not. I'm not going to make you take the credit, but I would recommend it.
What's the class under here?
The Buddy system. It is course number 38234.
Oh, yeah.
What's the course title?
Buddy system. Yep.
38124? 34, right?
234. 38234.
There you go.
All right. So for those of you that have done new construction, sold new construction in the past, there's some challenges that come to typically finding information. Where this system was born from, our owner is a high-level broker in San Antonio. He has bought and sold new construction exclusively for about 15 years. He's done a little over 7,000 transactions at this point, but he's somebody who is doing this every day. He even was commenting about 8 years ago how difficult it is to find good, clean, accurate information when it relates to new construction. And so he's like, I'm going to change something. I'm going to change it. I'm going to build something that's going to make this easier not only for me, but for the other realtors and brokers across the state of Texas and eventually the country. So what he's built here is a platform that not only streamlines the new construction listings, it streamlines your sales process. It gives you a platform-led opportunity to create free lead generation leveraging new construction. This is a baby CRM that we built here as well, so you can manage your clients within the system. And ultimately where this goes is building stronger relationships with the builders and the sales reps that you want to work with across the Metro-Tex, or across Metro, excuse me. This is a smattering, an example of various builders that we're working with across the state. So our owner Chris launched this in San Antonio a little over a year ago in February. We went to Austin in June, and then he had me and a colleague of mine open up Dallas and Houston in November. So some of the challenges that we've identified, I mean, I've talked to a couple of them already, but number one, information on the MLS, outdated from builders. They put it on there, they never monitor it, they never foster it, it just gets old and stale, the information's not updated. Unclear. Well, obviously with the NAR settlement a little over a year and a half ago, now you can no longer see what you're getting paid by builders. Because of the way that we've built our system and how we're partnering with builders, we display that. We display all builder incentives in one location next to the commission as well. So you know what is going on, what the builder is providing to help the deal get done. Loss, typically, and I know Carrie said New Home Source, but whether it's through the builder or through other platforms, a realtor's biggest fear besides getting cut out of a deal is losing the client entirely. We keep that, everything here with New Home Buddy is branded to the realtor that the client discovered the homes through. Now, I'll get into it a little bit further down the line. A client can get access to multiple different realtors, New Home Buddy links, but you have data as to when that client looked at a home because we timestamp everything that a client does within the system once they've registered to you. This is a very efficient way to share information because it comes directly through the fields that you input within New Home Buddy, and it's native to you. And then ultimately, we have brought what was chaotic. There's different sources for all different things, Facebook, Instagram. We've brought that all within New Home Buddy so that it stays centered into one location. So this is an example of what the landing page looks like if you're looking across San Antonio. I'll show Dallas here in a little while. But number one, this is always free for realtors. So this is Chris's gift or love language back to the realtor community that's given him so much, is that this is a free tool. The way that we gatekeep this to agents is that clients can't get access to New Home Buddy because they don't have a TREC license number. When you sign up, you have to put in your license number and then verify your email so that you can create your account. And then through that, that's how we can display things like Realtor Commission without clients being able to get access to that from the jump. You're able to leverage, and I'll show these strategies how to do this, you're able to leverage everything that's on this platform. We have about 24,000 homes as of today. To you, the clients will see the builder's brands, but they won't see any contact information of the builder. So that's keeping you in the driver's seat when it relates to anything that you can sell or anything the builders are selling that you want to sell on their behalf. We also are checking against the builder's data that they're providing to us 4 times a day. So you're going to see on every single listing the last time that we checked against that builder's information and the last time that the builder updated that home price or anything else within the home. We also have some proprietary search fields that no other platform has. Because of the data that we're getting from builders, we can identify, does the home have a primary that's upstairs versus downstairs? Does the home have a standalone study? Does it have a standalone flex room or game room? Does the community have a below 2.2% tax rate? What school system is the home in? And you can search by multiple school systems at the same time. You can search by how many dollars in closing costs the builders are providing. Is the builder providing an interest rate as low as a 4.99? All of those kind of things can be built into a search that you're putting together for your client. As I mentioned, all this is branded in your homepage, your personal link. So when you sign up, we pre-populate your link with, it's nhb.app, like the little URL. Everything after the last backslash you can change. We pre-populate it with your first and last name when you sign up. But if you have, a tagline, whether it's, Carnicia's crazy new construction, like if you want it to be something like that, you can brand it to you, however you're putting your own personal brand out there. You can also lead gen. So if you want to give, through the personal link, a client accesses that, they get access to all, like for in Dallas today, it's like 7,015 homes that are currently live in Dallas. They can get access to that. But if you want to go out and do a tour of a new construction home and you want it to, and the characteristics of the home are something like a 4-bed, 3-bath on a quarter-acre lot in a tax rate that's going to, in a community with a tax rate that's going to be below 2.5, and you want everything within like a 20-mile radius that fits that same general parameter, you can build that search in the platform. There will be a custom URL that will then be like, let's say that's 50 homes. Those 50 homes, you've now built your clients a sandbox within the greater playground of the 7,000, so they're only going to see those 50. So that way you can tag your video with, hey, to see this home and others like it, click the link in the comments or click the link in my bio, however you want to market that particular home. And then when the leads get captured, they come to you directly. So and when I say within 15 seconds, I do this, and we'll prove this out, to create a dummy client today. Within 15 seconds, that lead is hitting your inbox. So then it's on you to follow up and make sure, like, is this real contact information? Is this a real person? Is this information that they provided real, valid, etc.? From what we're hearing from builders, typically a consumer-facing site like a Homes.com or Realtor, Zillow, those are providing 3 to 4% accurate contact information. Well, why is that? Well, because typically what's happening is, let's say you guys go out and do a home tour, you're showcasing something on social media. What do you typically do? You tag it at the end saying, hey, if you like this home, call me, email me, text me, etc. Well, that requires the client to make the first move on the dance floor, and a lot of people aren't comfortable doing that. So we're changing the psychology because now you put your link out there, the system captures their information voluntarily. They have to submit it. But now you have to be the one that makes the first move by calling or emailing or texting them and following up to something that they liked and they were confident enough to hand over their contact information. But generally speaking, we're seeing something much more close to 30 to 40% accurate contact information instead of that 3 to 4, because the homes are leading, not the realtor. This is an example of what the community details look like on a particular listing, and we can dive into these on the live demo, but the commission box in the top right, that's only visible on the realtor side. When a home goes to a client, that top box disappears. So the client only sees the closing cost coverage or the rates as low as X% for the interest rate. And then all of this as far as the home details, the home type, the community, tax information, all of that, schools, and then further down would be actually the community details as well, which would include like HOA, water, energy provider, things like that.
Can I stop you?
Yep, go ahead.
Can you go back to that screen? So for some of the newer agents in here, some of our experienced agents will understand this, but some of the newer agents, we have buyers that are not able to get into a home because of the interest rates that we have right now. And so when you're looking at some of these new home builds, there's actually new home builds that they can get into because of the interest rate drops, because of the lower insurance costs and everything else. So when you see stuff like this, some of those harder to purchase buyers, going into the right price point and finding some of these lower interest rates can help them get into a home a lot easier than if they were using a traditional lender. Not smashing our normal lenders, but just saying that this is an opportunity for some of those more difficult buyers in a lower price point to be able to get in there if they can't compete with those interest rates. So just a little.
And to add on to that, I don't see him here today, but Jason with Supreme Lending. See, he and I were talking last week, and I mean, they are the in-house lender now at this point for American Legend Homes here in DFW. And with that, I mean, they're able to do a lot of different things that cannot happen on the pre-owned side because the builders are contributing a lot of funds towards buying that interest rate down, providing closing costs, even cutting, X amount of dollars off of the price of the home to try to help fit that, to your point, monthly payment into the client's budget.
Are we waiting on questions?
Oh, please go ahead.
So this isn't just,
The information that they're getting the home builders from is just not from the MLS.
Correct. This is not information that's scraped from the internet. This is information that we get directly out of a feed from the builders, and then we are then populating our site with the information that's within that feed.
And does it change this commission page from not built to already built to move in?
Yes, so we delineate all the information within our site, all the way from floor plan, all the way through completed specs. So you're going to have some builders that are more intimate with the system, and they'll be putting maybe different commissions or different closing costs on floor plans versus specs. Some are being a little bit more broad. For instance, not to pick on anybody in particular, but Coventry Homes, up until the end of March, the way that they were listing their incentives within New Home Buddy was rates as low as $199 and closing costs as much as $40,000 on completed specs. And the asterisks that because, hey, it could be a rate as low as $499 if you want to throw all the flex cash at the interest rate. Or you could throw some of that $40,000 at the closing cost because the buyer needs that to get the home closed, or they just want to take it off the purchase price and just do that. So they're keeping the band wide, but they wanted to make sure they were still gathering every possible lead through the system because of where they were placing things. Because if they would have put their interest rate at, for instance, $499, and an agent was in the system searching for a rate as low as as low as 5, it would have cut them out.
Okay.
So then, and I'll pick on Carnisha here because I know she has the background with builders here. The other piece that we built into this website is builder connections. So we've kind of inserted a social media aspect when it relates to the builders. For those of you that have sold new construction in the past, did you enjoy the experience that you had with your sales rep at the model?
We're not allowed to say that out loud because we're on YouTube.
I just want a yes or no. I just want a yes or a no. I'm not looking for
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay. For those that you enjoyed the experience with, if you want to replicate that again, that's where we've got the builder connection aspect, because you can connect with them in the system. We made this a one-way street. So my joke is that it's Bumble for new construction, wherein the female, in this case the realtor, gets to make the first move. We didn't want builder reps blasting out connection requests like friend requests on Facebook to 5,000 realtors that they've never met. But for you, the realtor, if you enjoyed that experience and you want to continue to do business with that sales rep, then you connect with them in the system. Anytime you're looking at a home that applies to their builder, they will be on that home. Now, they may not be able to sell that home, but why do you want to put them on that home if they can't sell it? Because they're going to have quicker access than anything you're going to find online to who to go talk to actually can buy that home from. So when you connect with, for instance, I'm going to talk about, let's see, I was with Melissa Hopkins at American Legend the other day. If I made Melissa Hopkins my point of contact within New Home Buddy for American Legend, I'm going to be able to get quicker information from her about anything American Legend than I could by going to the online sales team or by going to their website. So, because Melissa's going to give me a warm intro to her colleague that's in a different community because she can't sell that home. So we're really helping speed the lead for you as agents. If you have a client that raises their hand that says, hey, I want to find something out about American Legend down here in Midlothian, and you're like, well, I don't know anybody at M3 Ranch, but I know Melissa when she's selling up in Mosaic and in Prosper, then she can direct that conversation relatively quickly to her colleagues so that you guys can try to make a sale. So the way that it populates on the site is once you make connections, there'll be a little green box in the homes for their builder once you've got those connections, so you can always be reminded of who you're working with at those builders. And then this is my second favorite feature of the site, but buyer needs requests. If you've got a client that you're talking to and you cannot find what they are looking for in a home, you can put in a short missive, select DFW, I'm looking for a 5-4 on greater than a quarter acre lot in a community with a tax rate below 2%, and I want a monthly payment below $4,000. You submit that, you send it, you get to select which builders you want this request to go to, and it goes directly to their online sales counselor or the marketing coordinator that they've designated to New Home Buddy to who should be receiving these requests. And then they turn around and raise their hand and say, I've got what you're looking for. So I just did a test with this with Kay Havnanian on Friday, and their point of contact responded to the realtor that I worked with in 7 minutes, saying here's all the options about everything that fits what you've submitted. So who's using this and how are they succeeding with this? I don't know if anybody's seen this young man in San Antonio. His name is Trenton Miller. He does a lot of speed tours. I will say this, he is a content creator who happens to be a realtor. He is a realtor, but I would argue that the reason why he's succeeding is because he's a content creator and he just happens to choose realty as his profession. But he has 2.1 million followers across all of his socials. So he's got these videos, they go viral all the time because one, he boosts his videos and everything else, but every video he comments and he drives people to say, hey, to check out this home or others like it, check out the link in my link tree or my bio. So they come here, and when a client clicks on this, they now see all 7,400 homes that Trenton wants to sell across San Antonio, and they're branded to him. So you can see new homes in San Antonio, Texas, prepared by Trenton Miller. And let's go to this Chesmar home here at the top. So everything there as far as video or pictures, you can see that we last checked this home 43 minutes ago to verify the price that was last updated on the 9th. Rates as low as $399, and there's no builder contact information. It's Trenton. This is what the client sees. So now the client has a couple of options. They can email Trenton, they can request a tour, they can try to favorite the home. Well, when they try to do anything, the system thinks that the client is trying to create a profile with Trenton, so they have to pass their contact information over to him. We also don't give them the freedom and flexibility to search around all day and you never hear from a client. We time this out after 90 seconds so that if the client hasn't given their contact information to you, they either have to do it at that point or close the page entirely. They don't get to surf all day and you never hear from them. Now, to be fair, a client, if they really wanted to go to this level of effort, they could, after 90 seconds, close the page, come back in and keep trying to search around, but it's going to get frustrating. It's not going to go very far. So additionally, for instance, the way that we keep you all in the driver's seat is if as a client, I like this home and I want to request a tour, the client has to provide their contact information, and then what happens on the builder side is they get a mirror copy of this form, but it removes the client's name and contact info, and it instead inserts yours, and it says, if I'm the realtor, Brandon Brunner's buyer just favorited your home, has requested a tour Wednesday at 5 p.m. And so that's putting the impetus on the builder to now reach out to the realtor and have them give me a call to confirm everything for Wednesday. So, initial questions? Okay. Another realtor that's really killing it with this, Tammy Price. She actually did about $36 million in volume last year in San Antonio. She actually was talking some crap about New Home Buddy on social media at the end of last year. However, one of our co-owners knows Tammy very well, and he sat down with lunch with her, and he's like, what's your concerns? What are your problems with New Home Buddy? And she's like, well, it's taking leads away from me. And he's like, no, I don't think you understand exactly what this site is. And they walked through it kind of as I'm doing today. She walked out of that lunch, and a day later, she had a new construction tab on her website that she did not have before. So very similar to Trenton. Now when clients check her out, go to her website, go to her new construction tab, it's a direct link to her New Home Buddy. Similarly, instead of 7,400, she keeps all the builders in San Antonio on our platform. She has about 9,000. So same thing, as a client who comes to the website, I want to check out this home with Perry through Tammy. I see the incentives, I see the address, I see all the information about the home, and then there's Tammy. Tammy and Trenton are both generating somewhere between 60 to 90 leads a month off of New Home Buddy in San Antonio. Tammy actually, she's got one of my favorite stories from a connections aspect. So she had connected with a sales rep at D.R. Horton in the system because the builder reps, they get to make their own counts as well, but they only get to see what they can sell or their builder can sell in the system. So they don't get nearly as much access as a realtor. But Tammy had connected with the sales rep, I think his name was Ronaldo. Ronaldo gets a tour request through New Home Buddy for Tammy's client. So he reaches out to Tammy. Well, Tammy was on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, and she said, no, I'm not going to be able to be at that tour. And he said, okay, well, if you're comfortable sharing the client's contact information, I will reach out to them and confirm the tour, but you are procuring cause. She walked off that cruise ship to a closed client with a 6% commission through New Home Buddy. So, I say the commission word. These are numbers for the end of last year. So June 1st through the end of 2025, I don't care too much about the impression piece. Like, that's just the amount of people that are seeing homes, all that kind of stuff. What I do care about is how many leads were generated through this. The top 10 agents using this through the second half of last year generated almost 1,000 leads by themselves across the platform. That led to, and in total, they had 16,000 total sales contacts, sales opportunities with those buyers that they generated. And altogether, $217 million in agent commissions were paid out via the leads that were created in New Home Buddy in those last 7 months of last year. So initial questions before I get into the site itself. Okay.
No questions? Melinda, no questions? No?
All right.
I'm excited about this. I really like the way that it functions, and so I'm excited.
I want the link to sign up.
Right here. So newhomebuddy.com. You all can make your account right now. It takes
Ask
30
and you
seconds.
shall receive, sir.
We have an app too?
Not yet. We want to have an app available by the end of Q3, early Q4. That's where we're tracking right now. Where it gets,
Saw it on the slide.
yeah, we're getting there. Where it gets really fun with an app is we can do things that you can't do SMS or mobile web. We can, because with an app you can have location services attached to an app. So then we can send agents push notifications when their client walks across the terrace of a model if the builder has a beacon in their model. So then you can know, like, hey, did they actually go to the model that I sent them to, or did they go without me, things like that. Mm-hmm. So when you go to the agent portal, the way that, like I said earlier, that this keeps this free and clear from clients getting access to New Home Buddy without a realtor is you have to have a direct license number to sign up. This will send you a verification email to the email address that you sign up with, and away you go. Yes, ma'am.
So once we do that and sign up, are we able to register our clients in there
Yes, ma'am.
before they go view for the?
Oh, no, register them with a builder? No, you cannot. So go, okay. So the question was, can you, within New Home Buddy, register your clients with the builder? The answer is no, you cannot. You still have to do the outreach to the builder to get them registered with the builder before they go out there. And getting a client through New Home Buddy, I should be very clear, does not constitute the same as getting a signed buyer's rep agreement. This is just a lead. You still have to do the good old-fashioned hard work of getting them to sign that documents for them to become your client. So here we are with 7,013 homes here on New Home Buddy today in DFW. To give you the insight as to the builders we are currently working with as of today, We've got American Legend all the way through Union, Maine, so 17 builders in DFW. However, to give you a full breadth and context into all of the state, so I can, as an agent, I can add myself to every market in the state of Texas, and I do not have to belong to those realtor organizations. So I can add myself to San Antonio, Houston, and Austin with a few clicks. So now instead of seeing 7,000 homes, I'm seeing about 24,000 once this all populates. There we are. And why would I want to do that as a realtor here in DFW? Well, Perry has the same floor plans in Dallas as they do in San Antonio. If you've got people that are watching your content or that are interacting with you that want to work with you in another market, you can totally do it as long as you're licensed in the state of Texas.
Referrals, baby.
All right.
Is this only Texas, by the way?
Only in Texas as of today. We will very likely be outside the state by the end of the year, but we want to get Texas right and tight before we move.
Where at,
Yeah.
in what other states?
So we like to move in concentric circles, but it also is going to be a little bit dependent on the support from our builders. Multiple builders have told us, hey, we're ready to go outside the state as soon as you are, and talking to national directors of marketing and sales. But right now our goal would be something along the lines of Phoenix, Oklahoma, Nashville, Atlanta, Florida, kind of that concentric circle for the next round.
So this kind of way for them
I also think is there are no
starting
New
to
Mexico buildings
generate
right
leads
here,
for
except
home
maybe
buyers.
DR.
Mhm.
So I'm,
Correct.
I asked that and I'm like,
Yes, leads from new home buyers only, correct.
Yes.
Because this removes the noise of pre-owned from the new construction conversation.
Yeah, my question was, if they are gonna buy, like, in in a different market that we're not in, do we have to refer it out? Is it considered a referral, or?
Question for your broker.
It's highly recommended. Absolutely. Even do you have to refer it out if it's in a different market?
You have to be competent.
Yes,
in
you.
another market. So if you say, Mike, I want to go sell this home in Houston, I'm going to ask you, what do you know about Houston? And if it's, I know a couple of highways, I'm going to say you should refer.
Yeah, if it's just the
If you say,
Astros,
hey, I
no.
grew up in Houston, okay then, no, that's all right.
Well, but you grew up in the
You
1970s.
have to be competent.
You know, stuff's changed a smidge,
Yeah, you
just a
have to be
smidge.
That's
That
right.
matters.
Yep,
Competent.
competence, yes.
Not that you're competent.
Okay,
here, but-
so let's run a little bit of an exercise for those that are signed in, because I want to give a little bit of training / muscle memory with this for y'all. So the first thing as you jump in is to complete your profile. So mine's already done, so it's harder for me to show you. This is the one piece I do have to talk through. So the first thing is get your profile picture uploaded in there, because when people are looking at your links, they want to see who they're interacting with. So get your favorite picture up there. Keep it professional. Unless Carrie wants a party photo up there. I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
I've got a. Yeah, I've got the duck face and the peace night. Yeah.
Yep. Once you've got that set, the next thing is your personal link. So with this, you can change it to whatever you want it to be after the last backslash. We pre-populate it, like I said, with your first and last name. But if you've got a tagline that you like using for your home selling, please put that in there. But what I would recommend is once you set it, is forget it, because once you start distributing that link, whoever has it, if you change that link to something else, that original link is now dead. And not only do you have to go and give them the new link, you now have to change the behavior of them referring to that first link, because now they got to figure out how to use the second link. So once you set it, forget it is my general recommendation. Also insert your phone number, and then finally confirm the markets that you want to be in, and then you're all set. Your profile is complete. With your personal link, the access to the URL is always here with the chain link icon. Or if you want to put a QR code in your signature or into a business card or anything like that, we have a QR code generator here for you as well that goes directly to your personal link.
Excuse me, I'm
Yep.
missed it. Where it says create your personal link?
Yep.
What do you do there?
Just click the blue button,
Okay.
and it'll pre-populate with your first and last name.
Yeah, so you can leave it like that, or you could change it to like the Miller group.
The Miller Group?
Yeah, you could change, like,
All right. Everybody.
Just because I have good jokes. Everybody able to do that?
Okay.
I'm having a problem with my picture.
That's, sweetheart, that's nothing that we can help out. That's your face, okay? That's just, that's how you were created.
Walked right into that one, didn't I?
You did this,
Sorry.
and I went right out of there.
File size may be too large if it's not uploading.
I was able to put my picture in, and then I tried to go and change my link, and now it doesn't show a picture, but it has a link.
Refresh,
change for
refresh,
personal-
Yeah.
refresh the page.
Refresh up here, Brian.
And now go click upload. Yeah,
try
click
it.
on it again. And then go scroll down to the very bottom once you get it where you want it centered. And scroll down and hit save changes in the bottom.
I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
Where it says like the market, do you suggest putting more than one or just like?
Yeah, you're fine. Whatever it goes back to competence. If you feel comfortable speaking to Austin, San Antonio, by all means go for it.
Oh, that was the question.
Yep.
Okay.
Or the other thing is, even if you aren't competent, you can at least gain referrals that you can run that as well. So, okay. So the very first thing I just want to highlight here in the Homes tab. So the very first tab at the top is Homes. So this is just everything, but I want to run everybody kind of through the general search functionality of the site. So a la Zillow or other sites that you're familiar with, everything on here that you could think of, price, bed, bath, square feet, you can search by build status of floor plan versus inventory. One thing that I really like, for instance, if you have a client who's reloading, that you can select by inventory, but then you can also come in here into the More tab and say, hey, I want the home available by the end of July, just ahead of the school year, basically. So that's going to include all of the under construction inventory as well that the builder has already gotten started. So now we're looking at 1,500 homes instead of whatever it was before I clicked that date on the calendar.
Love that one. Mike, yeah?
I'm looking for quick move-in because I want the incentives.
Exactly. 100%.
Well, and that's what's really cool about this is instead of going, because New Home Source doesn't really have any of that, and so instead of going onto every single builder's websites and then missing some here and there, it's all in here, and these are all of our top builders in the area, and you can see their quick move-ins, their rates, their all of that kind of stuff, and it's refreshed regularly. So.
Yep. So, like I said, primary bedroom, upstairs versus downstairs, secondary, the same thing, additional rooms within the house, garage bays by the half count, home type if your client's looking for a townhome versus a single family. I don't know why we have duplex and triplex and multiplex. We're nowhere near getting those listed on here, but, well, no, that's not fair. Pacesetter does have a couple of duplexes, but heating fuel, cooking fuel, all of that. Community amenities is a very vast one because we just have a lot that we've had to throw in here so that we can keep it in one location because otherwise the search filter options would get pretty deep. But we do have to call out in here if your client's looking for a half acre or larger lot or a 1 acre or larger, that's in the community amenities tab, just FYI. Community tax rates, you can search by maximum tax rate, which generally from the builders that we've been asking them for the information is that will include the MUD or the PID on top of the actual municipal tax rate as well. Some builders have elected not to listen to our advice and they're not displaying that, so you still will have some follow-up questions with the builder depending on the MUD or the PID that they have, but at least it's something from a basis standpoint to start the conversation. Here's where you can avoid MUD, PID, WID if you'd like. School system, I do like this part, but for instance, if you're interested in, your client is totally fine with Northwest ISD and Argyle, you can put in both at the same time, and it will search all the homes in those two school systems at the same time. You don't have to do independent searches.
Does this have over 65 or over 55 in one of the
I believe we
options?
do. Maybe not. I feel like I saw it at one point. We may not at this juncture, but we also don't have any builders that are. We don't have Ladera on here. I'm trying to get Ladera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we get to that point, then that'll just be an easy call out.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yep. But like I said, the builders down here, you can search, if you want to deselect and you only want to search Coventry Homes, you can do that. You can search by the actual floor plan name. So if your client is mentioning something about a floor plan, you can search by that. Maximum interest rate. So if you want to cap it at 5% and only see the homes on the platform that are offering 5 or below, you can do that. Or if you want the builder to be providing at least $10,000 in closing costs, here's all the homes that would apply towards that.
And then stacks them if you do both of them? So it's an and?
It's an and, yes, correct. So if we did this and put it back at 5, it has to be both displayed, not or. So now it brings on a 151.
No, there's people out there doing that.
So,
Yeah.
so you could do that. So the next thing is, so let's all jump into the client tab. So here's a bunch of dummy clients that I've built, but I want to display this. So Carrie, I'm going to make you my client.
Perfect. Haskins,
right,
Haskins.
So you couldn't remember mine, so it's Turnabout's Fair Play.
Hey, I kept trying to put a T in there for some reason, and I don't know.
All right, so I have my client Carrie here. So first things first. So I mentioned the biggest fear / pain for a realtor in general with new construction is getting cut out of a deal. In general, when it comes to searching for homes, what are some of your top pain points when interacting with clients when it comes to searching?
Knowing where to look.
Just finding.
Yeah, for
Finding
new
them?
home, yeah, it's finding them. It's if they're going to have the incentives or the amenities that they're needing.
What houses they have the incentive.
What floor plans, time frame is a
Yep.
huge one. Time frame, if it's going to be 9 months or 3 months.
What happens?
Inventory or like if
Yep.
they're doing just custom or not custom.
Yep. Where I'm going with this, I'll just kind of answer the own question. Those are all good points. What happens when a client gets out there and they think they're looking for a 5.4, they start looking at prices and they realize, shoot, I can't afford that.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to restart, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's a pain because you might be out in the field, you're working with other clients, you're like, I can't get back to my laptop to reset your search till tonight, but I'll do it. And then it's 11:30 at night and you're finally getting done with it. Well, what if you gave them the freedom and flexibility to search without having to do all that? So right now for Carrie, I'm going to send her a search that is just the search, which is just the platform, all 7,000 homes. I'm going to send her all 7,000 homes and she can do what she wants. She can have the Zillow-like experience. Why is Zillow the #1 platform out there just in general for clients?
You can
Anybody else?
customize the search
You
however
can do what you want,
Right.
and nobody bothers me. So here, all right, so I'm gonna go to Carrie. I'm gonna send you, Carrie, a quick email with this link. Okay, and so Carrie, when that comes through, just go ahead and open it up and start clicking through a few homes, maybe favorite a couple, whatever it looks like. What I can also do with Carrie is if I know what she's looking for, I can build a search. So again, for those of you that are following along, so I'm going to come in here. I want to find Carrie, a 4-bed, 3-bath minimum. She wants an inventory house because she's ready to move now. She wants at least 2,200 square feet. And she wants a tax rate below 2.2. And she wants a community with a pool. And she wants an interest rate below 5. So here we go. Here are the 70 homes. Well, Carrie, you got one option down south, otherwise you're moving out east. But otherwise, I can save this search now for Carrie. We pre-populate the display name for the search with the filters that you applied. You can change this to be whatever you want. So if I want to say, hey, QMIs with a rate below 5%, I can do that. But as you notice, I can fill this field with whatever I want. To be clear, the client will see this when they open the link. So whatever you do, don't put anything dumb in here like I'm just doing this so I get paid, because the client will see that. But now I create this search. If I were to send this to Carrie, here's what she would see when she would open this up, which is just the 70 homes, and they're branded to me. So the builder information is there as far as which builder it is. I can see that it's Ashton Woods. I can see it's Meritage, Union, Maine. Commission box goes away. They see the rate. and then there's the agent. That's what they see. And they can still search within these 70 homes. So if they want to add additional filters of like, hey, I want the primary bedroom downstairs, it'll take it from 70 to 66. So 4 homes fell out. Or if I want to see the ones with the ones upstairs, now I can really narrow it down to 4. They can't break out of the sandbox that you built for them within the 7,000 home playground, is what I'm trying to insinuate here. So that way, if they have questions about anything beyond that's outside the search, again, you can go back and you can, provide that attentiveness. You can build them that additional search or that different parameter if you want, or we can just do what we did with Carrie here, and she's got the full playground at her disposal. I can now jump in here. Let me refresh. So Carrie jumped in here and I can see. She viewed the search, 2 minutes ago. She looked at QMIs and she viewed the 276 Bassett.
Oop, careful.
So, still got some athleticism left.
That's quick reflexes.
Yeah. So,
So does it save what I just put in there?
yeah. So that's everything that you just did in the system.
There it is. And on my side, it says prepared by Brandon, and so it's got the search created and everything else. So it has your name on my side.
So that way, go ahead.
I'm sorry. But
No, you're good.
It has numbers on it. Is that numbering saying that it's the number one search for what the criteria you put in?
Let me come see your screen.
Okay. It has the numbers up here.
No, those are
Yeah,
that means
like
that there's going to be
2.
11 in that neighborhood.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, those numbers, it's going to, so you got 22 to,
Yep.
those are the houses in that area. Yeah. In that particular,
They have available.
yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir. So if you see something like that and there's 22 in that neighborhood, you're assuming that they've got a lot. The other 2, they may be end
Yep.
inventory, so you may be able to get something off of that.
Yep. So the
Yes.
icons that you see in the map, these are communities. And so the numbers in those boxes, those are the homes, available homes in those communities, whether it's floor plans or specs, so combined. So what we're doing here is, so I'll go to like another dummy client that I've built in the past, but George Strait, I was looking for some stuff for George. I can see every home he's ever favorited. I can see every home he has ever looked at. So now I have real data on how to follow up with my client based on what they're looking at. And we've taken away that conversation of, hey client, did you take a look at that set of homes I sent you last week? Did you like any of them? And we all know that clients are always truthful 100% of the time. And when they say, no, I didn't look at them, I didn't like any of them, they totally looked at every single home and reviewed them all. So now you can verify whether or not that actually happened, because you can see if they opened those search links, if they looked at any homes, etc. Now, I will say one thing about the system. So these homes you can see that George here has favorited in the past. Like this one, Meritage, is off market. This History Maker one, off market. Those are the ones that have sold. When a client favorites a home, we do still hold on to something that's been favorited that is no longer on market for you to continue to reference. But anything they viewed, that doesn't stay and mark on here whether it's still available or not. You'd have to go back and research for that one. Additionally, we don't let the client know if the home has been sold and come off market. We only let you know based on checking within the client's profile. Similar to creating a search for Carrie that we built where it was just the 70 homes, this is the lead gen tab. So you can, again, leverage custom URLs for searches within your content on social media or within email campaigns, things like that. So, for instance, I've built this one, 350,000 to 400,000, 4-bed, 2-bath inventory, 1,800 to 2,500 square feet. So let's take a look at this search that I built. So there are 24 homes that hit this today. This is a live link. So what I mean by that is I built this search, that's what's available right now, but when this search refreshes in another 4 hours, some of these homes may sell, some of these builders may be adding a couple of inventory to their platforms that are not currently on as of right now. So this link will always stay alive, and the homes within it will always change as they sell or as they get added to the platform. Does that make sense? Okay. So within that, anytime a client references this, hey, this is what's as of right now, So if you put in a video, you can refresh this again in a month and use that same link. It's not something that dies and you have to go and recreate this search and use it again a month later. So I have one realtor I know in Dallas. They really want to push themselves as kind of this luxury builder, their clientele essentially. Their link that they put in their bio is not their personal link. They don't want to deal with the, call it lower end homes below 800,000. So everything they have in their search, they just built a search that was just for everything 900 and above across DFW within the platform. And that's what their link goes to. So their clients that are going to them don't see anything below that price point because of the URL that they built.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Like when you're setting up the search, it doesn't narrow it down to the city. You have to do like community.
You can draw, so we don't have by the city, but if you want to draw and you want to do something down here, you know, around Arlington, Irving, apply, and we're going to keep everything here across Fort Worth like this. Okay. So this next tab is Builder Connections. This is the one where I encourage you to think of your favorite 1, 2, 5, 20 sales reps that you work with across builders. You can jump in here, very quickly connect with the builder rep. I'm going to look for Hopkins. Oh, sorry. It's the handshake icon on the left-hand side, builder tab, yep. So let's do a fun little exercise. Let's have whoever's on the system right now, if you'd like to, let's all send some well wishes by connecting to Erica Klingenberg with American Legend Homes. I would ask you all to connect with her. She is recovering from knee surgery, so she's not going to be in the office for a little bit, but I would love for her to get a bunch of emails about a bunch of people that connected with her as a well wish today, so if you don't mind. She's with American Legend Homes. Now, the way that a lot of agents are utilizing Builder Connections are kind of like a fantasy football roster where it's kind of my wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, QB1, QB2. Because, for instance, if I go to Aaron's link here with History Maker and I can see all the homes that he can sell, this is everything across the metro, including his primary community, because History Maker has some cross-sell rules with their builders. So Aaron can sell anything standing inventory along with the to-be-built homes at his community over in Elevon in Levon. But if I were to go and look at History Maker homes in, let's see, West Fort Worth over here, where's Palmetto Springs? Yep. So on this floor plan, I'm still seeing Aaron. Why is that? I'm really driving this point home. Aaron can't sell this house because it's a to-be-built home. Well, History Maker does not put their sales rep in Palmetto Springs anywhere on the internet. I don't know who that person is, so I can reach out to Aaron, email or call here and be like, hey Aaron, I know you can't sell this because it's a to-be-built home, it's a floor plan, a Chestnut at this neighborhood, but my client's interested in it. Can you direct me over to the sales rep at Palmilla so that we can start the conversation on getting this house purchased? So it gets you quicker access to information, getting you quicker access to the person who can actually sell you that house. Another thing, and I think I said this earlier, but to call it out, I actually did this exercise with Aaron 2 weeks ago. I was presenting to Fathom Realty in Mesquite, and we were actually meeting with Castle Rock Homes. And while I was there, we did a search, and I sent my link of about 12 homes to the Castle Rock rep, and I had them favorite a few homes and everything else. Well, she happened to favorite a History Maker home. And 10 minutes after she did that, Aaron's calling me in the middle of the event because here I am, an agent. On his end of the system, it was showing that Brandon Brunner had a buyer that just favorited your home. So he was calling me to try to make a sale. That quick. But this is the buyer needs request, so very simple. You open up the green box on the top, say for DFW, I'm looking for a 3.2 with a tax rate below 2% and a Okay, I'm gonna add a map because I want this home to be in Rockwall area. Okay. And then I get to select which builders I want this to go to. Now, here's the thing. If I don't want this to go to Cadence, because I know I don't want a townhome, if I don't like Legend, if I don't like Lillian, I can remove those from who I send this search to, or this request to. For the builders that don't have any connections, again, at the bare minimum, this request is going to go to their online sales team or to a marketing coordinator that's running their relationship with New Home Buddy. For the builders that I do have connections with, it's going to go to that primary point of contact, but it's also going to go to every connection, every sales rep that I have at those builders, so they can turn around and raise their hand and say, hey, I've got what you're looking for, or I know somebody who does, and help direct that traffic and get you answers to try to make a sale. So I'm not going to hit send because they would get this, and I don't want to do that right now. So. Next thing is last couple of things. I'm almost done here, but this is our event calendar right now. Pretty sparse. This is the most manual, labor-intensive piece of New Home Buddy, which is I need builders to send me events so we can add them to the calendar, and that's a little more work than working through an XML feed of data. So it's a little thin right now, but this will be something that we're going to continue to work on with builders, populate this out so that we're going to have grand openings, flash incentives, community events, CE classes they're offering, all here in one spot for you to reference. The one thing I will call out is every Tuesday at 3 o'clock, we have a open call for my colleague Sarah Cho here in Dallas for her to spend time with any realtor that wants to jump on that has questions about New Home Buddy. What started as 1 to 2 agents a week maybe jumping on and asking individual questions about like, hey, I don't know how to do this, or how do I do this within New Home Buddy? It's evolved into a little bit more of a community call where there's 10 to 15 people on every week, and they're kind of trading stories of, hey, here's how New Home Buddy's working for me, here's what I'm doing that's working, what are you doing that's working? So just FYI if you want to glean a little bit more from your colleagues across the metro. And then the last one is our support tab. So if you don't want to do the open call with Sarah, you can schedule a one-on-one training call with her right there. Or if you don't like interacting with people at all, you can watch videos or blog posts that are on our site. You can read those. Request a new feature. This is a grassroots thing that Chris has built. So if there are things that we haven't thought of that you want to see as a realtor on this platform, submit it through here. If there's a builder that you work with and you have a very tight relationship with a sales rep or a leader at the builder, submit that through there, because I am taking screenshots of emails and texts from realtors across DFW saying, hey, I do a lot of business with Highland and they're not on the platform. Why not? I screenshot that and I send it right over to Dave Embry, the VP of Sales over there, going, hey Dave, I've got another one that's asking for you to be on this platform. Like I said, we've got 17 builders on here today. I've demoed with Chris to probably another 12 to 14 builders, or have started conversations. I expect we'll be at 20 builders by the end of the month, but I'd really love to be at 50 by the summer so that we can really blow out what's available here in DFW. All told, there's about 100 total production builders that have electronic feeds, so I've still got my work cut out for me to continue to make this expand, but we're making a lot of good progress. So,
Did you go over the fact that this is, how much is it, like $2,000 a month for agents? Oh no, actually it's absolutely free.
It's 100%
So,
free.
Carney's
Carrie's going for a cash grab.
No,
You want
I was like,
access
yes,
to-
you can put that into my Venmo account. No, but this is absolutely free. So this is another tool that you can definitely utilize for your clients. You know, if you're marking on your buyer rep agreement that you are going to be showing them new home construction, this is what you need to be sending to them. Okay. There's other, you know, like you said, there's some builders that are not on here. But the builders that are on here are some of our top builders in the area, and they've got massive communities all throughout the entire DFW Metroplex. This is a great source. I highly recommend going on there and playing with it. Try to break it some. Let Brandon know if you do break it. EJAWS, that is not you, because I know you'll figure out some way to actually break the system. But please go on and use this. And this is what we were talking about before with Amanda and her class, talking about social media and who your ideal clients are. If you're looking at breaking into new home builds, if you're looking at people that are buying those, this is a fantastic platform. Okay, this is that QR code that you can utilize for your own private links, but then also you know, this is something that will help you stand out so that when you have those clients that are looking for very specific options within a community,